What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of Grey Men Operations. Today we're going to be talking about the highly strategic Incog X. I've got all the holsters with all the add-ons. We're going to be going through everything. I think I've found my Mona Lisa. Just when I thought I'd reviewed every kind of holster, I've done over 50 of them. I have over 120 holsters, and I thought I'd seen everything. Highly Strategic and Safariland have come up with what I think is a masterpiece. Guys, just before we begin, to my patrons, at the end of this video I'm giving away a Wolf Tactical Battle Belt. If you're watching on YouTube, that video of the reviews popping up in your screen, my next Patreon giveaway is going to be one of these Strikeman at-home training systems with a laser target. It's a very, very cool thing. So if you want to get in on that and stand a chance to win, join on Patreon. It's the first link in the video description below if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, the link is the very first comment. Let's get straight into the highly strategic Incog X. Now, first and foremostly, this holster is their light bearing option. It says on the back, I don't know if you can see, but it says for the TLR7A. Now, the fit is absolutely perfect. There's literally absolutely no play. This thing is retained in the holster. It's solid, and the firearm has no light on it. Believe it or not, this is a question I get asked a ton, especially from new firearm owners who are about to buy their first holster. Can I buy a light bearing holster, and will it retain my firearm even if I don't have the light on it because I maybe can't afford to buy it, or I'm not sure which light I want to go with? This is the only holster that does it acceptably, in my opinion. The retention without the light is perfect. Okay, there is absolutely no movement. You can jump around and the firearm remains perfectly retained. Rest assured that if you're carrying the light bearing option without a light, it absolutely will retain your firearm. It does require a little finagling when reholstering, but at the end of the day, no one needs to reholster in a hurry. Now, guys, you can buy these in two configurations. One is just for the firearm, okay? And what you'll get if you do buy this is this setup at an extra clip, or you can buy it with a mag carrier. Now, the customization options here are really cool because I can tell you, you can run this quite comfortably with a single clip. So if you wake up this morning and you decide, I don't want to run my mag carrier, just take the mag carrier out of your pants, or don't put the mag carrier in the pants, and you can run this setup single clip style. You can absolutely do it, still access your firearm as well as your mag carrier. These clips on here are exceptionally good at keeping the firearm in one place. So if you are someone who sometimes wants to run a spare mag carrier and other times you don't, you just want to run the firearm, you can set it up like this, and when you feel like it, you can stick this in your pants or just run your firearm only. You'll notice all of the retention screws have a red washer, which is a very nice feature. The lights that this holster will fit for certain, the Inforce Wild 1, it fits it spectacularly. The Streamlight TLR7A, obviously. And then another one of the lights I got is this Phoenix GL19R. I'll show you the fit of this in a second. But guys, it won't fit your O-lights. Anything that has a little sort of bump sticking out the side, it won't fit. The light has to fit flush with the sides of the frame, or has to not be wider than the width of the frame or slide. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So this is the Phoenix GL19R. It's a very rare, lesser known light. It's actually quite a nice light, to be brutally honest with you, but not a lot of people run it. And so with this, it'll fit, but it'll come out the front a bit. But it does fit in there absolutely perfectly with literally no wigglation. The Inforce Wild 1, it's probably my favorite fit of all. You know, that retention click is so satisfying. Gosh, it's nice. And guys, obviously I have run this with the Streamlight as well as with the Inforce, and I can tell you the retention is good, the access to the firearm is good, the draw stroke is good, the reholstering is good. It fits absolutely perfectly. Now let's talk about concealment. So most of my concealment, I ran it with my setup with the spare mag carrier, and as you can see from all the angles that matter, the concealment is 10 out of 10. I position my camera at different heights. I'm 183 centimeters tall, which is exactly 6 feet. And not everybody looks at you from your waistline. One of the big factors for concealment with both of these holsters is you'll notice that the clips are mounted in the recesses of the firearm. If you look at this clip, it's mounted in the recess between the mag carrier and the holster. Now this clip is sort of mounted on the front, but it's mounted flush. Like there is no spacer in between here to cause this clip to protrude. So what happens is the belt runs very flat across your waistline, so you don't get a lot of profile protrusion. A lot of times you're carrying a holster and it looks like you have a belly, or it looks like you have this unnatural belly from the side. Because these clips are mounted where they are mounted, you don't get that. Now, the claw itself is very unique. Firstly, this sucker is thick, okay? Look at how thick that piece of material is there. The claw is not breaking, okay? On the non-light bearing version, pretty much same deal. However, where it does differ is that these pieces, these top pieces over here, are removable. If I take a screwdriver and just pop that out, I can pop this out, right, which is effectively the size of your wedge. And if I want to, I can then switch it out for either a thinner or a thicker wedge. You get 3 of these wedges that clip on like so. Maybe I should show it to you from the back. It clips on like yeah. And so this is like a super flat one. If you're someone who conceals really well and wants a bit less tuck for comfort reasons, you are good to go. You get like the really small one. I'm hoping that's showing up nicely. Then you get a medium one. And then you get the one I run, which is the large one. Now, because this claw is so robust, the brace is so robust, there is very little give. Once you tighten down your belt and it tucks the claw, it really does pull, and that's why you get really, really good concealment. Guys, also one of the things that's really important is that the claw is mounted on the clip, and the clip can't go so low that it affects the accessibility of your gear. I see a lot of guys running holsters where, because the holster is designed not as well as it should be, and concealment is a problem, their gear, their firearm, shall I say, the grip is sitting right on their belt line. So they almost have to defeat their cover garment and defeat the waistband of their pants in order to get a proper grip on the firearm. The Incog, you can't do that. You can't lower the clips enough to where your grip sits on your belt line, and nor should you. Your firearm should be accessible at all times, and it shouldn't be so low that you have to defeat your pants' waistband in order to get a full, proper high-tang grip. Remember, guys, the primary function of a holster is to provide a stable, safe, and concealable platform for carrying your firearm, as well as ensuring it's accessible at high speed should you need it. Now let's talk about comfort. Guys, one of the major features of this holster is the tactical fuzz. This tactical fuzz is actually a microfiber suede. And let me tell you, it's kind of like the air conditioning in, maybe not the air conditioning, it's kind of like electric windows in your car. Do you really, really need it? No. Does it make your car slightly better? Yes. The microfiber suede or tactical fuzz adds a layer of comfort that makes it more comfortable than most bare Kydex holsters. Not so much that if this was a terrible holster, the microfiber suede would make me carry it, but the fact that it's a good holster just means that carrying it is a bit, I would say, 25% more comfortable than carrying a holster that doesn't have the tactical fuzz. I can also tell you, I've been running these since last year. They don't smell. There's literally no smell. My concern, and many people's concern, is this thing is going to smell when we sweat. I've sweat. Listen, we in the middle of summer here in Cape Town. I have sweated a lot while wearing this. There's absolutely no smell, no bad odor, nothing. Is it going to come in the future? I can't tell, but I mean, if I've been running this for quite a while now, and I've got absolutely no bad odors from it. It is also apparently moisture wicking, which is very, very cool. In terms of mobility, the setup I run, which is the biggest of their setups with the light bearing holster as well as the mag carrier, I have no problems getting into compromised positions. I have no problems accessing my gear from different positions. I can jump around, I can move around. I'm not compromised or limited when I'm carrying one of these holsters. If you are carrying a compact weapon mounted light, or if you've just bought your firearm and you aren't sure whether you're going to go for a weapon mounted light, but you feel like you probably will, you're just not sure which one, as long as you don't go for an O-light, this could very well be the holster for you. You're getting a high-class piece of kit that is extremely well made. Let's switch the view and give away one of these battle belts on Patreon. Okay guys, so you guys know how this works. I just want to show you this is Patreon, and my list of active patrons, there are 168 of you. So if I go to that list, we have got numbers 1 to 168, which is all of you. So what I'm going to do is copy your names and then paste those names into a name randomizer. Let's just paste that there, backspace. Let's randomize these names. There are 168 items that have now been randomized. Then I'm going to go to the numbers and copy numbers 1 to 168 and paste it into a random wheel of names. So just paste this, and there are 168. I'm going to shuffle it, and there are 168 entries. So from here I'm going to click to spin, and basically the number it lands on is effectively the winner of the competition. So number 123, and if I go to my name randomizer where those names and numbers have been randomized, number 123 is going to be Jacques Stander. So well done to you, Jacques. You are the winner of that battle belt. I'll get your details off Patreon and hook you up with that belt. So well done to that Patreon winner. Remember guys, this is the next Patreon giveaway, this at-home training kit, which is super cool. I am going to do a review of it before I give it away. But I basically do monthly giveaways on Patreon. And as I mentioned, if you want to join up, the first link in the video description below if you're watching on YouTube, and it's the first comment if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram. I'm usually grateful to my patrons who support my channel. I know they support my channel. They're not here for the giveaways, or at least I hope so. But my giveaway is just my way of saying thank you to them every single month for supporting me, and I will never give away gear that is less than the value of 1 full year's worth of your Patreon ship. Guys, final thoughts on the highly strategic Incog X. Remember, everything on this channel is an opinion, nothing is a recommendation. However, I am of the opinion that this is probably one of the best holsters I've gotten. I know I'm a big holster fan and I get very excited about holsters, but I really thought I'd seen everything. The Incog X it's just exceptional from top to bottom. I really, really like the holster. Guys, that is it. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. I'll see you guys next week for another review. Have a good week. Be safe. Train hard. Cheers. God bless.